you're going to be running a generator, especially if you're not paying attention to your power consumption. So, and then you're dependent on gasoline or diesel fuel to run your generator. Um, and that's the most expensive electricity there is. I did all that statistical analysis of all that stuff way back, way back. Um, I was living on a wood lot that was so far out there can never be power out there. Commercial power. Um, electricity from the power company. Um, and I had a four-cylinder Perkins diesel generator, 7 kilowatt generator. And boy, that thing would go through some diesel. Um, but and I think back then, which would have been early 2000s, it cost me $7.50 a kilowatt hour to produce electricity. No, maybe it was $4 a kilowatt hour. But when you consider the maintenance on the diesel, I mean that was a stationary genset. So, um, and you consider the price. Uh, they generators run about $1 a watt. So, so do solar panels. So, you know, having electricity from the power company at, you know, 8, 10, 12, 15 cents a kilowatt hour um, is a pretty good deal when, when the sun isn't shining uh, for a long time, or when it's overcast, or when you exceed your normal power requirements because of something or another, transferring water with a water pump, or um, running a circulation fan in the heat during the heating season, or running AC in the summertime. Um, be real convenient at, you know, I don't know what the break even is. One of these days I'll sit down and figure it out, but I would suspect it's someplace around 25, 25 to 50 cents a kilowatt hour would be the break even on solar. Then it would be worth it. So we'll just have both. And then, we've got a couple of generators. And we'll have them. So I don't think we'll be without power up here in the guest house. It's going to be small square footage. Um, Heated with wood, backup gas, propane. Um, you never know. You never know. So I think we'll be okay. We'll order. We've got. We've used hoop houses before to extend the growing season, and we can pretty much grow all year up here. Um, can't grow tomatoes all year, but we can grow greens all year. And then, of course, we've got the chicken coop and uh, two different chicken coops, one for layers and one for breeders, and um, so I think that I think that's about enough. We don't have any gold and silver, and you're pretty crazy if you do. If you're dependent on gold and silver, um, gold and silver is for rich people uh, trying to retain their wealth. Just like land. Who's the largest farmland owner in America? Bill Gates. Does he know anything about farming? No. He's maintaining his wealth. And it's the same thing with gold and silver. You know, if you trade in uh, pounds of, of precious metal, well, then you're outside of the system anyway. But there's no infrastructure for trading in gold and silver. You can't go to Walmart with gold or silver. Well, you could, but whatever it's marked is going to be what the value is. In other words, if you have a silver dollar, they'll give you $1 for it. Well, that's an ounce of silver. That's $25. So same thing with the banks. You can't deal with it in the banks. You can't go to the banks and give them a gold Krugerrand and get $1,800. You can't do it. Um, and you know, people. I mean, I'm not going to trade. If somebody wanted a dozen eggs, or a couple dozen eggs, or a couple of chickens, or some lumber, or whatever else we've got, and they come in and they want to trade for silver. I don't want it. Can't eat it. And there's just no infrastructure for it. So you have to go pawn shop, right? And I suspect they'll be mobile to try to reach as many people as they can, trading silver, for whatever the currency is and the value, whatever the value of the currency is. it, it ain't going to work. And that's a worst case scenario anyway. We're not going there. We're going into stagflation. We've had it before in the 70s. But this time our infrastructure's pretty screwed up. Um, you know, uh, wells being capped and that kind of stuff. I mean, the government's out of control. People being, put in confinement or being restricted from going places and doing things. And, this is, this, this will all fail, but it's going to take time. And the political system, it doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, they're all a bunch of crooks. They're all dumber than blocks of rocks. Um, they have no clue. It's like when I was in school, I had an accounting professor, um, and I was an accounting major. I had an professor who said, um, when you guys graduate, you can sit for the CPA exam, go work for a private firm, and go about your business. But those are the A and the B students. You guys who are C students, fill out your application now to go work for the IRS. And that's the way the government is with these politicians. A lot of lawyers can't make it, in private practice. Um, People who are just, they're ne'er-do-wells, I guess. They can run their mouth. And I guess if they couldn't be politicians, they'd be used car salesmen. Go to Dubai and get on the phone and try to drum up business for Medicare or something. We get a lot of those phone calls. I'm sure you do too. Can't even understand those people. Anyway, uh, so I just figured I'd throw something out there. I don't know how long this is going. Looks like 10 minutes to me. But this will be a slow process. Right now, I'm you know, taking the sawmill apart in the back of the property. And I'm going to try to get it out here. I'm going to put it right over here, right over here, right over there. And saw up all these down trees. Make nice board and batten siding or clapboards or something. This is all pine. And a lot of it is spalted now because the beetles get into it, but it makes it pretty. And so I guess board and batten on the outside. So little 600 square foot place. Be nice and cozy. Won't take much to heat it. Probably run us out of there because I'm gonna burn the smaller parts of the pine and stuff, and gotta burn that stuff hot or else it builds up creosote. So let's see what happens. It'll be fun, don't you think? I'm sitting now because I can't walk anymore. The dog's in the back of the truck sleeping. She's just as old as I am in dog years. She has to have help getting in the truck. Life is limited. Life does have an expiration date. So we'll do what we can and see how far we can get. If you want to come along, you're welcome. But don't subscribe and don't comment and that kind of stuff. It'll just make you a target. I've been banned from YouTube multiple times because of some of the things I say, and I'm not going to stop saying them. So don't make yourself a target. You can follow along. I don't need the notoriety. I'm not trying to make any money on it. So I want to see what an old guy does. Maybe some things you can do. Because this is going to go on from now on. From now on. If you think things are going to turn around and start being better and all that kind of stuff, no. Wishful thinking on your part. We've been headed this way for a long time. Now we've just taken a big dip because we've allowed this one world order thing to percolate into our society. And the damage is being done. Some of it's already been done. Let's go, Brandon, right? All right. That's all I got for this time, so until next time, toodaloo.